Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like over on Prizepicks for today's NBA slate on Wednesday, November the 5th. We've got a big Wednesday slate tonight, 11 games. Obviously going to be a lot of props to choose from on a big slate like this. I am recording this video the night before, so typically the night before, we're not going to have all the props up for every game. Right now, we have props up for 6 of the 11 games. And I was able to find 3 plays that I did like, with what's available right now. So we're going to get some information, some analysis, talk through why I like these 3 plays, and then I will give more Prizepicks plays out on my Patreon later on Wednesday afternoon. Typically, I post on Patreon around like 12 to 1 o'clock Eastern time. You can get more Prizepicks plays from me over there. Check that out. Linked down below in the description if you're interested. But before we talk through our plays for today, guys, I just want to say if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, make sure that you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button as well, and be sure to go sign up for Prizepicks. If you're new to Prizepicks, if you don't have an account over there, sign up, use that code NOAH. When you play $5 over on Prizepicks, you're going to get $50 worth of free lineups just for signing up and using that code NOAH. And then also, we do have a partnership with Sleeper, so I want to give a shout out to Sleeper. You guys can go download the Sleeper app, use promo code NOAH over there, get your first deposit matched up to $100, as well as you will get a free $20 entry. So this is a new promotion that Sleeper's been doing. They've been doing it for like a couple weeks now. I don't know how long they're going to do this promotion for, but while they're doing it, I want to promote it to you guys because I think it's a great way for you to be able to try out the Sleeper app without even having to put any money. It's a no deposit required promotion. So you get this free $20 entry just for making a Sleeper account and using code NOAH. And then you can use that free $20 entry to play. If you win money off that, then that's going to be paid out as promo funds. You use those promo funds to play more lineups. And then if you win any money off those additional lineups, then that money becomes credit, which you can then withdraw if you want to withdraw, or you can just continue to keep playing. But I highly recommend you guys check out Sleeper. Again, they're giving you a way to try out their app without even having to put in any money. You get that free $20 entry, as well as if you do decide to make a deposit, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. So check out Sleeper if you guys have not yet. But let's talk about some plays here for Wednesday, guys. What I'm liking looking at the board the night before. Now, before we talk through our plays for today, I do want to recap our plays from yesterday, from Tuesday night. So we give out 2 picks on Tuesday night, and it was just not our night, man. We took Desmond Bane over 15.5 points. Bane had 9 points with like 6 minutes left in the third quarter. So like he had a chance to go over, but then he got ejected. You guys probably saw what happened where he fouled Onyeka Okongwu, and then he literally like threw the ball at him. I don't understand what he was doing. I guess he's just frustrated. But yeah, Bane got ejected with like 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Obviously not going to go over his prop when that happens. And then we took Nickeil Alexander-Walker over 25.5 fantasy score, which I felt really good about that play. That was definitely one of my favorite plays of the day. That line got bumped up like 2 or 3 points. We got some really good value on that. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker had like 18 points. And if you would have told me he had 18 points, I would have felt very confident in him going over 25.5 fantasy score. But he had only, I think, 1 or 2 rebounds. I think he had like 1 assist, 2 assists. He had 1 steal. And then he had 7 turnovers. 7 turnovers for Nickeil Alexander-Walker on Tuesday night. When you take a guy over fantasy and they have 7 turnovers, usually that's not going to be a recipe for success. So just one of those days where, things don't go your way, and that's just how it goes sometimes. You're not going to win every single day doing this. But let's try and get back out of here, guys, for Wednesday and see if we can find 3 winners for this Wednesday slate. So looking at the first play that I like for Wednesday, it's going to be a points prop, and we're going to go to the Rockets game. I'm liking Reed Sheppard for more than 7.5 points. So Reed Sheppard has come off the bench for the Rockets this year. He's basically just been their backup guard. He's playing he's playing anywhere from 18 to 25 minutes a night. So far this season, he's played 28, 20, 24, 18, 17, and 17 minutes. He's gone over this points prop in 5 of those 7 games. And if you look at the 2 games where Reed Sheppard has gone under this line so far this season, he's gone over this points prop in 4 out of 6 games. But if you look at the 2 games where Reed Sheppard has gone under this line, both of those games, he just shot the ball badly. Against Toronto, he scored 7 points, shot 2 for 7, and 0 for 4 from 3. And then against Dallas, he scored 5 points and shot 2 for 7 and 1 for 4 from 3. So poor shooting has really just been the reason why Sheppard has gone under his line in those 2 games this season. But every other game he's had at least 8 points so far this year. Reed Sheppard is a player that he can facilitate. He can run an offense. He's a guy that they will let handle the ball a lot. So he's going to have opportunities to score just because he will kind of run the second unit. He's a guy that's not afraid to take shots either. You look at this season, his shot attempts per game, 11, 11, 11, 7, 6, and 7. So we're getting a guy who's averaging like almost 8 shot attempts per game. You're going to give me a guy with a 7.5 points prop, averaging like 8 shot attempts per game. That's typically going to be something you want to take. Now, can Reed Sheppard go out there and shoot 2 for 8 tonight? It's absolutely possible that he could go out there and shoot 2 for 8. But I think the opportunity is definitely going to be there for him to score 8 points. I think this matchup against Memphis is also a favorable one. Memphis this year defensively against guards, they've been a pretty good matchup for guards. We've seen guards have success against Memphis. Memphis is top 10 in both points allowed, 2-point guards and shooting guards this year. And I want to say defensively, Memphis has not been very good. Let's see. So far this season in terms of defensive rating, Memphis, they're 25th in defensive rating. So they're like bottom 5 in defensive rating this year. Memphis defensively, I mean, they've just not been that good. They did go out and get KCP, who is a good defender, but like I don't think KCP is going to be trying to lock down Reed Sheppard. KCP is probably going to be maybe tasked with guarding Kevin Durant in this matchup. Not really sure. We'll see. I think Reed Sheppard's going to be in a plus spot here. And I think another thing working in our favor, this game does have a 6.5 point spread. I don't think this game will be a blowout, but in any scenario where it does turn into a blowout, that's obviously going to benefit Reed Sheppard. He would probably get extra minutes in a blowout scenario. Memphis, they've got a lot of things going on with their team right now. John Morant's been making comments about his desire to play for Memphis. He's not really enjoying playing for Memphis right now. There's a lot of things going poorly for the Grizzlies right now. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Houston go out there and put it to them in this spot. Again, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but in a scenario where we do see Houston kind of run away with this 6.5 point spread, it could happen. That would obviously benefit Reed Sheppard. But if you're going to give me 18 to 20 minutes from Reed Sheppard, 8 shot attempts in a good matchup against a team that struggled against scoring guards, I think he can definitely get us 8 points here. And looking at sportsbook odds right now, the night before, early sportsbook odds like this over. DraftKings had this like minus 135 favored to the over. So that's a prop that I like for today. First prop, Reed Sheppard, more than 7.5 points. Now, the next prop that I like is going to be a rebounds plus assist. And we're going to take Davion Mitchell for more than 8.5 rebounds plus assist. Now, I was liking Davion Mitchell over 5.5 assists, but that line did get bumped up to 6. Literally, it was actually at 6.5 now. This line, his assist prop was at 5.5, got bumped up to 6, and now it's at 6.5. With his assist prop getting bumped up that much, I'm not going to play that. Instead, I'll just go to his rebounds plus assist. I mean, if he goes over 6.5 assists, it's a very good chance he's also going to go over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. We really only need him to get 2 rebounds for this prop to be valuable, for it to be a better play than his just overall assist prop. And there's definitely a chance he'd get more than 2 rebounds. I know Davion Mitchell historically never been much of a rebounder, but so far this season he is averaging 6 rebound chances per game. You look at his rebounds this season, he has had a couple games where he's only had like 1 or 2 rebounds. I think he did have a game with 0 rebounds, but he had a game against Orlando with 6 rebounds, 1 against Memphis, 1 against the Knicks, 4 against Charlotte, 1, 0, and then he did have 5 rebounds in their last game. But what really makes this prop look good is the assist numbers for Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell has been doing a lot of facilitating this year. He's been starting at point guard for the Heat. Obviously the Heat right now don't have Tyler Hero, so without Tyler Hero, I think we're going to continue to just see a big ball handling role for Davion Mitchell. So far this season, Davion Mitchell's averaging 7.7 assists per game. He's averaging 13.3 potential assists per game. So he's been getting a lot of potential assists, been racking up a lot of assists this year. He's a guy that, again, has shown an ability to be a good facilitator when he gets playing time. Last year with the Heat, when he was coming off the bench, when he started some games, he was a guy that averaged a good amount of assists, per however many minutes he would play, like per 30, per 25. He was a good assist guy. That's carried over to this season. Again, the assist numbers have been really strong for Davion Mitchell this year. Just a guy that is going to have the ball in his hands a lot. He's going to be the guy kind of doing a lot of the facilitating in this Heat offense. So I like Davion Mitchell for more than 8.5 rebounds plus assists. You could take his over on assist at 6.5. Again, that line was at 5.5 before I was before I started recording this video. But with it getting bumped up a full assist, I can't take that. I'll just go with the rebounds plus assist instead. So that's our second play. Third and final play, going to go back to the points prop category. Going to go to the Lakers game, and I'm liking DeAndre Ayton for more than 13.5 points. Now, DeAndre Ayton has been pretty good for the Lakers so far this year, at least from a scoring perspective. He's gone over this points prop in 5 of their 7 games this season. One of the games where he went under against Memphis, he only played 17 minutes. I don't know why he only played 17 minutes in that game. Maybe just due to poor play. Doesn't look like he was in foul trouble or anything, unless maybe he got injured. I don't know. He might have got injured in that game. I can't remember. And then there was one game against the Warriors where he did play 34 minutes and only had 10 points against the Warriors. But every other game, 15 points, 16, 17, 22, and 29. Ayton's coming off his best game of the year where he did have 29 points last game. Now, last game, they were without both Luka and Austin Reeves. So, kind of take that with a grain of salt. But still, I think DeAndre Ayton's role has been pretty good in this Lakers offense. He's been a guy that has shown an ability to score when he's given playing time. When he was on Portland, when he was on Phoenix, he was a player that would average 15, 16 points per game. Without LeBron still, potentially without Austin Reeves too. Austin Reeves is questionable for this game. I think Austin Reeves probably plays here, but that'll be something to monitor, heading up to tip off for this game. But we've got Austin Reeves questionable. If Austin Reeves is out, obviously that's going to be even more usage to go around. But even if Austin Reeves plays, I still like this prop on DeAndre Ayton. I mean, DeAndre Ayton so far this year, he's 4th on the team in usage. And the guy that's 3rd on the team in usage is Nick Smith Jr. But I think Nick Smith Jr.'s usage rate is really spiked up because of last game where he had a big usage rate last game. And he had a bunch of points. But, I mean, Nick Smith Jr., he's probably going to be in the rotation moving forward because he played so well last game. But, I mean, you look at the usage this year, 39% for Luka, 29.5% for Reeves. Then you got Nick Smith Jr. in there. But then it's DeAndre Ayton with a 21.2% usage rate. And then it's a big drop-off down to 16.2%, which is the next highest guy. That's that's Dalton Connect. Rui's at 16%. So, clearly, the usage in this offense, for the most part, dominated by Luka, nearly 40% usage rate. But then you've got Reeves up there with a 30% usage. And then you've got DeAndre Ayton up there in the low 20s. So clearly Ayton is still involved in this offense. He's getting up shots. You look at his shot attempts per game this season, 7, 11, 17, 15, 11, 6, 19. He's had a couple games with only 7 and 6 shot attempts, but every other game, 11, 17, 15, 11, 19. He's a guy that's getting up a lot of shot attempts. He's got a good mid-range jumper. Now, the matchup here is probably the reason why we're seeing a lower line on DeAndre Ayton, because he will obviously be going up against Victor Wembanyama. And Wemby has done a pretty good job of shutting down opposing centers, but we still have seen some centers have success against Wemby this season. I think Bam Adebayo had a really big game against Wemby earlier. Let me look at that real quick. I want to say Bam had 30-something points in a recent game against the Spurs. Let's see. Yeah, so Bam had 31 against Wemby. I mean, obviously, DeAndre Ayton's not quite on the same level as Bam Adebayo, but still, Bam had 31. I think Anthony Davis had 22 at the beginning of the season. He did that in 32 minutes. Didn't quite play full minutes because that game was a blowout. I think he was in foul trouble too. But some of the centers he's played, he's faced Brooklyn, Nick Claxton. I mean, he's not a center with a huge offensive game. He's faced the Pelicans. The Pelicans, if you consider Zion their center, I mean, Zion had 27 points against Wemby earlier this season. So, Wemby has still, there still have been centers that have given up, that have gotten good games against Wemby. It's not like Wemby's just shutting down every opposing center. And with how DeAndre Ayton can score in the mid-range, he's a guy that doesn't, he's not like your Rudy Gobert. Obviously, Rudy Gobert, all of his production, his scoring is going to come around the rim, at the rim from dunks and alley-oops. And those are the type of guys I do worry about going up against Wemby, because Wemby's such a good rim protector. But from a guy like DeAndre Ayton, who can space the floor a little bit, who has a good mid-range jumper, who doesn't need to score around the rim, he's a guy that I think can still have success in this matchup. And clearly, Ayton has had a good role this year. He's been producing well with the Lakers, and I don't think that stops here. So 13.5 points for Ayton here. I do like this prop, taking him over 13.5 points. And again, Austin Reeves questionable for today, so there's a chance this prop on Ayton looks even better if we get Austin Reeves ruled out. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, that's what I'm liking, guys. As our 3 props for this Wednesday NBA slate, we're going to take Reed Shepherd for more than 7.5 points. We're taking Davion Mitchell for more than 8.5 rebounds plus assist, and we're taking DeAndre Ayton for more than 13.5 points. So that's what I got for today, guys. As always, do appreciate you watching these Prizepicks videos, and again, I appreciate your support. Make sure that you hit that like button down below for me before you do get out of here. Hit that subscribe button as well. Be sure to go check out our sponsors, Prizepicks, Sleeper. Go sign up for Prizepicks. Use code NOAH. Get those $50 in free lineups. Go sign up for Sleeper. Use code NOAH. Get that deposit bonus and that free $20 entry over on Sleeper. But yeah, guys, good luck tonight. Let's try and win some money on this Wednesday slate, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.